be a fun interleague game if those buildings were still the Polo Grounds. That's where Willie Mays and the New York Giants used to play before they were carted off to San Francisco. It is time for the keys to the game, the Hyundai keys to the game, brought to you by Hyundai, where driving is believing. Tell us the keys to the game, Jim Cott.
It's pretty obvious, Michael, that the Bonds effect. How is Mike Mussina going to pitch Barry Bonds? What situations is he going to come up in? Men on base, nobody on. That's going to have a big effect on the game, obviously. Pitchers being aggressive. Interleague play, you're facing lineups that haven't seen a lot of these pitchers. And the key thing is not to worry so much about their weaknesses, but to throw to your own strengths. And both these guys have good control. And then, as always, with very few complete games in the game today, it's going to come down to who has the best bullpen. The Yankees, we know about their closer, and the Giants have a good one as well in Rob Nen.
There's Barry Bonds. He's going to be in the Giants starting lineup. Of course, it's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Get the feeling, Toyota. David Bell will lead off. He'll play third base. Rich Aurelia from the area. He'll play shortstop and bat second. Batting third and playing left field, Barry Bonds. Jeff Kent, the second baseman, will bat cleanup. Benito Santiago will catch and bat fifth. Batting sixth, former Yankee farmhand J.T. Snow. He has some significant numbers against Mussina. Not good, but significant. 6 for 30, 1 home run. That's a 200 batting average. Reggie Sanders in right field, batting seventh. Batting eighth, the DH Damon Minor. And former Met Tsuyoshi Shinjo is in center field. He will bat ninth.
And they're going to face the Moose, Mike Mussina. He's going to make his 13th start of the season. His record is 8-2. The Yankees are 10-2 in his starts. And when you add up the hits and walks, they're just slightly over his innings pitched. That's about as good as it gets in the strikeout walk ratio. Very impressive. A different year for Mike this year. He's getting some run support. He is the 4th toughest pitcher in the American League to hit. They're hitting about 220 off him, and he's still hitting on all 4 cylinders. Very few pitchers have 4 pitches that they can put you away with. Mike does.
Well, let's take a look at the defense behind Mike Mussina tonight. For the Yankees, Rondell White, who has not made an error in 127 chances. He's in left. Bernie Williams in center, and the rookie Juan Rivera in right. In the infield, Ventura, Jeter, Soriano, and Giambi left to right. Posada behind the plate, and Mike Mussina is on the mound. The beginning of interleague play. It starts right now. Bell against Mussina, a jam-packed Yankee Stadium. And here's the pitch. Swung on a miss.
David Bell is one of only 4 Giants, Michael, who have played at Yankee Stadium. This is quite an experience for a lot of these Giants. Even some of the veterans have never been here.
And the 0-1 to Bell. Outside. Bell last year with the Mariners. They thought they upgraded by getting Jeff Cirillo. So Bell's done a pretty good job for the Giants at 256, 8 homers and 32 ribbies. He's been hot of late over his last 4 games, 412. And the 1-1. Swung on a miss. You mentioned this has been a different season for Mussina because he's getting run support. Are you concerned at all because of the +4 ERA? Why is that?
Oh, I think he's had a couple of games that he had got some runs in the Boston game, 14-5, where he gave up 5 runs. So that'll inflate that a little bit. He's pitching just as well as he ever has.
The 1-2 just missed outside. Phil Cuzzy is the home plate umpire. Jerry Crawford at first, Joe West at second, Brian Gorman at third.
See, that pitch just off the corner, and I think the umpires this year are doing a much better job of not giving that pitch that's so far outside that the hitters can't reach.
And the 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Jerry Crawford. So, David Bell down on strikes.
Jerry Crawford at first base could be a very important man tonight with Mike Mussina pitching. You see hitters like David Bell. They have not seen, David has, but a lot of the hitters have not seen much of Mike Mussina, and they want to check their swing on that changeup and breaking ball. He could see a lot of action, Jerry Crawford.
Here's Rich Aurelia. Born and bred in Brooklyn. And there's a strike.
He's been excited about coming back here. You know, he just got off the disabled list. He had 4 bone chips removed from his elbow. And he just was reinstated earlier this week.
And the 0-1. Just a bit outside.
He's not only excited about being back in the lineup, but you mentioned he's from Brooklyn. He's looking forward to coming to Yankee Stadium. From Brooklyn, as Lee Mazzilli is. Rich really was a Met fan, but one of the few Yankee games he came to, believe it or not, was the famous Pine Tar game.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And the 1-1. Rounded off the foot of O'Reilly.
And for fans out there that are saying, what Pine Tar game? Well, most Yankee fans know about that. But of course, that was the game where Greg Nettles and Billy Martin appealed to, I think Tim McClellan was behind the plate. He's still umpiring here, that George Brett had the Pine Tar too far up the bat. Ruled his home run a non-home run, and they played it back later.
And the 1-2. Swung on and driven to left field. Backing up is Rondell White. He's there. And he'll make the play on the lip of the warning track for the second out of the inning. And now Barry Bonds will make his first appearance at Yankee Stadium. Not too many cheers for Barry Bonds here at the stadium. Fans still filing in. A lot of traffic outside, security measures as well as people coming to the ballpark. So you see packets of seats around the ballpark, still not full. Pitch to Bonds is high. Bonds met with the media before the game. Wasn't exactly warm and cuddly, but he got his points across. There's a line drive to center field, a base hit as the Yankees run a deep shift. Derek Jeter was on the second base side of the bag. So a base hit for Bonds. He reaches out and punches one to center field. The two former Bay Area buddies meet at first.
Not only Bay Area buddies, they exchanged hugs before the game. They both won the Most Valuable Player award in the same year when Giambi was with the A's. First time he's seen Mussina, and he sees that changeup going down and away. He's got such quick hands that even from a flat-footed position, got enough on it to get it out into center field for a base hit. Most hitters, that ball's probably a little pop-up to Soriano or Jeter.
Here's Jeff Kent. And the pitch to Kent is outside. That base hit by Bonds puts his average at .347. And he now leads the National League in batting, passing Todd Helton.
The impressive thing, Michael, about Bonds is that he walks. For a power hitter, he walks much more than he strikes out. And he's an excellent base runner. He only has 2 stolen bases this year, but he's a base stealing threat. He's an outstanding left fielder.
Kent swings and misses.
And I know, talking with Don Zimmer down in the field before the game, and our Sweeney Murdy talked with him as well, that, you know, Zim said everybody's attracted by the home runs, but this guy's a complete ball player, has been for years. He's lost a step or two in left field now, but you mentioned in our open, he may go down as the greatest left fielder of all time. There's his stolen base percentage.
And the 1-1. There's a strike. He had 177 walks last year. You mentioned left field, 8 Gold Gloves. He really can do it all. The only thing he hasn't done, and we'll touch on this a little bit later, he hasn't really succeeded in the postseason. The first game of the interleague slate for both of these teams. Yankees play the Diamondbacks next, then the Mets. And they head to the West Coast. And the 1-2. Fouled that. In fact, Jim, every single interleague game today is in the American League ballpark.
Yeah,
so I would think that that sets an all-time record for DHs in one day.
Probably.
And the 1-2 fouled away.
this Giant team is more than just Barry Bonds as well. We're going to get to see this weekend series. This team plays very well in the field. Don't give up many unearned runs. They have outstanding starting pitching, a great closer. And they have power hitters besides Bonds, like Kent backing them up, and Rich Aurelia, who just flied out to left field. He hit 37 home runs last year as a shortstop.
And the 1-2. Strike three outside corner. Kent down looking. That'll do it for the Giants in the first. No runs, a hit, a single by Barry Bonds, no errors, and one man left. Well, now it's time for the Yankees. The top of their lineup will face Livan Hernandez. Back here at Yankee Stadium, an uneventful top of the first inning. Bonds single, but the Giants could not push across a run. Let's see what the Yankees do. Their starting lineup brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Get the feeling, Toyota. Alfonso Soriano leads off. He'll play second base. The shortstop, Derek Jeter, bats second. Jason Giambi batting third and playing first. The cleanup hitter, the center fielder, Bernie Williams. Jorge Posada will catch. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing third base, Robin Ventura. Great numbers are Livan Hernandez, 11 for 22, 1 of the 11, a home run. Rondell White's in left field, will bat seventh. The DH is Nick Johnson batting eighth. And batting ninth and playing right field, the rookie Juan Rivera.
And they'll face Livan Hernandez, who's also making his 13th start. Very durable. 82 innings. He's got a couple of complete games. Has been subject to the long ball. Not a particularly hard thrower. See his record at 5-5. He ran off a few good games early in the year. And as we look at the scouting report on him, he has improved his velocity from last year. I think he's in better shape. Last year, the fastball down in the mid-80s. He's durable. He pitched a lot of innings. And when I say moxie, even though he hasn't been in the league that long, he has, just like El Duque for the Yankees, has a good idea about pitching. He pitches much older than the experience that he really has in the big leagues.
And Livan is the half-brother of the Yankees, Orlando Hernandez, the younger half-brother. Here's Alfonso Soriano when he puts the first pitch in play, a .550 hitter with 3 home runs, and hitters batting leadoff against Livan Hernandez hit .325 leading off an inning.
Should be some early action,
you would think. And the pitch. Up and away. And the 1-0. It's slowly in front of the plate, but foul. The count 1-1. Only 3 pitchers have had 15 strikeouts in an LCS game, and all 3 of them are in this ballpark. Livan Hernandez did it in '97. Mike Mussina did it in '97, and Roger Clemens did it in 2000. And Roger will pitch on Sunday. Hernandez very deliberate between pitches. Outside.
Like El Duque.
Yes.
Both the same way.
Soriano riding a 9-game hitting streak, during which time he's hitting .318. And the 2-1. Fouled away. Shinjo really plays Soriano to right center. Dusty Baker and Joe Torre, 2 of the best managers in the game, going against each other in this weekend series.
Both multi-manager of the year winners.
And the 2-2. Way outside.
Dusty's first look at Alfonso Soriano, and they'll be here for the weekend. By Sunday afternoon, I want to ask him if he reminds him a little bit of the Hammer. The Hammer is still Dusty Baker's favorite, Hank Aaron. He came up as a rookie playing on the same team with Hank Aaron and Joe Torre. So Joe Torre had a good influence on Dusty's career. He came up with the Braves. And not only an influence on Dusty's baseball career, but Dusty and Joe Torre have something else in common. They are both cancer survivors, and Joe was very helpful to Dusty when he went through his cancer surgery last year.
And the 3-2. Hit sharply to third. Backhanded there by Bell. The long throw. It pulls J.T. Snow out the bag, and Soriano reaches. We'll see how they score. It should be an E5.
Well, the ball was not hit particularly hard, and since Bell had to go to the backhand side, he might get a hit on this. That was a long throw to make, and I don't know. Let's see. With an accurate throw, it would have been close. And J.T. Snow, one of the better fielding first basemen in baseball, the only thing he can do is come off the bag. Notice instead of staying on the bag, he's going to come off the bag and make sure he keeps the throw, and it is scored an error.
That's Bell's 5th error of the season. Let's see if the Yankees run Soriano. Here's Jeter. Quick throw to first. Soriano just got back. J.T. Snow came up through the Yankee system, and the Yankees actually traded him to the Angels for Jim Abbott. And there happened to be a first baseman on the Yankees, which allowed them to do that, a guy named Don Mattingly.
Yeah, the quick feet of Livan Hernandez. I mentioned the moxie out there. I mean, this guy moves around well, fields his position well. If this were not American League game, many think that when he pitches, he should hit 8th and Shinjo 9th. Very, very close, as you see Alfonso just get the hand back in ahead of the tag.
Snow didn't argue. From that replay, it looked like he might have been out. Swung on and foul tip. Jeter in a little bit of a slide. 4 for his last 20. He's under 300 now at 298. Yankees were supposed to play last night, but heavy rains hit New York, and that game was rained out. And you know what? It works out for them because it certainly helped their pitching rotation for this series. They would have had to decide between Mike Thurman and Sterling Hitchcock for Sunday. Now they get Roger Clemens, and Mike Mussina pitches today.
Andy Pettit is undergoing a rehab assignment tonight at Norwich, and if he comes out of that okay, there's a chance that he could pitch the middle of next week here at the stadium.
I spoke to Andy's manager today, Louis Soho.
Oh, yeah.
And he said it's going to be weird to manage Andy Pettit, but he's been told by the organization 85 pitches and out. So they will be watching closely to see how Pettit comes through that. Yankee pitching right now, you just don't know what's going on with Pettit and with El Duque. And there was actually a story in Newsday today that David Cohn is ready to pitch for the Yankees. He's been throwing every day.
Really?
That's right.
Never have enough pitching.
Guess not. Line drive, base hit to right center field. Soriano will round second. He'll go to third. Shinjo fires it into second, gets away from everybody. Backing up is Bell. So a base hit for Jeter. First and third, nobody out. And Giambi comes to the plate.
Well, I'm talking with Derek before the game. I said, how do you prepare against a guy you really don't see a lot during the year? They saw him briefly in the interleague matchup when Hernandez was with the Marlins, and Derek said, you know, I worry more about myself. I'm worried more about my stroke and what I have to do. And when he does that, that's when Derek Jeter is a better hitter. When he takes that outside pitch and hits it the other way.
Livan, like his brother Orlando, has some troubles against left-handers. Lefties are hitting .302 against him. And here's a lefty stepping in, Jason Giambi. Jason 8 for his 19 on this homestand. He averaged up to .319 right now. Pitch is high.
And Joe Torre very quietly slipped Jason Giambi into the 3-hole. All year long he's been hitting cleanup, and the reason he did that, he now has Bernie Williams hitting behind him, who is a little more difficult to double up. He was hitting right in here with Posada hitting 5th. Bernie tougher to double up than Posada. And so Joe Torre saying, okay, if you want to pitch around Giambi and face the next guy, it's not going to be a double play threat like Posada might be. Plus, you're going to have to face a former batting champion.
Giambi has been great with runners in scoring position, hitting .350. And since getting the cortisone shots in his shoulders, Bernie has been Bernie. And this is the lineup the Yankees envisioned in spring training. 2-0. Grounded foul.
There's a report on the outfielders. Barry Bonds has lost a step. Not quite a strong throwing arm anymore, but he's still an outstanding left fielder. Shinjo, great speed and a strong arm. And Reggie Sanders, decent range. And when it's his average arm in a short right field like Yankee Stadium, he has a very quick release. He's a little better thrower than that.
They should be able to cover this expansive Yankee Stadium outfield. 2-1 is popped up left field. Giving chase is Bonds on the run toward the line, coming, and that'll make the seats out of play. Strangely, during his press conference before the game, Bonds was very upset that he's not DHing.
He was.
He wanted to DH. He said, you're supposed to save your stars to be strong for later on. This is a chance for me to DH. I don't understand why I'm not.
Well, that's interesting because Dusty Baker addressed that in his press conference. There's a long run for Bonds. Does as good a job as he can of getting over there. And the ball falls into foul territory. Dusty Baker said this is our best lineup with Bonds in left. And from here they're going to Toronto on AstroTurf. He said that's where he'll DH. It's more important to make it to be a DH in an AstroTurf field, be a little tougher on Barry's legs than the grass here at Yankee Stadium.
Well, word of Bonds' comments must have gotten to Dusty. Because Bonds was not pleased. I think he said he was insulted by playing left field.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I kind of thought he'd look forward to the first night in Yankee Stadium of like Ricky Henderson does, with a little dialogue with the left field fans.
Only a very shallow left field for Giambi. The 2-2 is hit sharply off the glove of a diving Snow. Everyone is safe. Soriano scores. The Yankees lead 1-0.
Well, this has scored a base hit. Nice effort by J.T. Snow. But again, it's a ball. You know, it didn't hit off the end of his glove. He just closed his glove too soon. And the Giants, coming into tonight's game, had only allowed 8 unearned runs. That's the fewest in the National League. And an error and a near error here in the first inning have already given the Yankees a run with nobody out.
I wonder, Jim, if he doesn't get that ball, if it hits Jeter. It looked like it was headed right for Jeter's feet. And then Giambi would have been out. He would have gotten a base hit, but he would have been out. Or Jeter would have been out, and Giambi would have reached with a base hit. Here's Bernie Williams. First and second, still nobody out. Pitch is high. We spoke about Bonds wanting to DH last year. 6 starts at DH in the 9 games in American League cities.
Yeah, and his average as a DH also plays into that. He hits about 200 when he DHs. He's a better player when he's in the field.
Foul back.
That's why it surprised me when you said he wanted a DH, because, you know, he loves to hit. And his numbers as a DH have not been good. I think when you're not accustomed to it, being a DH doesn't make you feel like you're a part of the game, especially when you're as great a player in all phases of the game that Bonds is.
Jeter's at second. Giambi is at first. Bernie at the plate. Levon might actually be slower than Orlando.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like he wants to throw the ball.
With him pitching and Bernie hitting, with Bernie's deliberate style, why you can get a couple hot dogs and a cold drink and not miss this at bat.
You could run out and buy him, grill him, and still get the cold drink. 1-1. Foul back.
Now we talk often about a hitter getting at least one good pitch to him hit in every at bat, and that had 3-run homer written all over it. Bernie was just, I mean, the difference between a home run and a fly out or a ground out is minimal. I mean, we're just talking inches. Watch this swing. He is just a little out in front of it, and it's fouled almost straight back. He's just waits just an instant longer. A really good swing attack. It was in a good hitter's zone, up and away.
One-two, way inside.
I don't think Hernandez feels good about his stuff so far. That's the word from the Giants. Is his velocity had improved this year. There's the first inning problems that Michael has talked about. 6 first-inning runs in 13 starts. But if he doesn't feel his velocity is there, he starts nibbling. That's Yankee Dave Righetti, who is his pitching coach.
Foul back. Hernandez got off to a good start. He historically doesn't. He won his first 4 decisions. And Righetti said, I really had to work with him on that. He said, because he almost thought, it's a sure thing I'm not going to get off to a good start because I never have. He said, so I tried to put a mindset, make believe this is June. And he came in better shape, and he did win the first 4, but he's fallen behind now. He's 1-5 in his last 6 decisions.
And I don't think he's in as good a shape now as he was earlier in the year. Looks a little heavier and a little softer.
2-2. Swung on a distance, struck him out. 1 away.
Well, it's as important to pitch to and fro, north and south, as it is east and west. We're going to look at this pattern. Most of these pitches are hard. 1-2 count. That misses. And now watch him really slow this one up. Really took a lot off the curveball and got Bernie out in front and missed it.
Wouldn't it be great if he pitched that quickly? Maybe we can edit it out.
Yeah, would be fun.
Here's Posada. So Bernie takes a seat, and the pitch to Posada is a strike. Hey, if you remember when you mentioned Hernandez, looks like he's a little doughy right now. When he first joined the Marlins, I said it. I said he looks a little doughy. When he joined the Marlins and he had defected from Cuba, he found the wondrous nature of fast food.
Oh, that can put a few lbs up.
Late night drive-thrus doesn't help. He seems very uncomfortable on the mound right now.
Yeah, pitcher's body language tells you a lot about how they feel about their stuff, and he's searching for his.
The 0-2, up and away. He's already won a world championship with the Marlins. He was the MVP of the World Series and the LCS.
Not many have done. I think about a handful of four players have done that. Darryl Porter did it in 1982.
1-2. Strike 3 inside corner. Posada down looking. Posada is now 1 for his last 15, and with that 7 strikeouts.
Good pattern there. He went outside with the breaking ball, and then there's that late movement. You see Santiago setting up right on the inside corner, and Hernandez hits it. Moved right back across the edge. The rotation, and it catches Posada looking.
Here's Robin Ventura, 11 for 22 against Hernandez. Pitches outside. And the 1-0. There's a strike.
Those other dual winners in League Championship Series and World Series were Willie Stargell and Oral Hershiser, as well as Darryl Porter and Livan Hernandez. The numbers you mentioned would cause me to believe Hernandez may treat Ventura like first base is open. Third base is the one that's open, but he may pitch carefully here to him and go at Rondell White, who's in the on-deck circle.
Keeping the ball away in the count 2-1. Rondell 1 for 12 against Levon. Numbers that Baker, Righetti, and Hernandez obviously know. And the 2-1. So the count's 3-1. Righetti still looks like he could pitch.
Yeah, he was amped up about coming back here. I told him how many times that fans had seen his no-hitter replayed in recent weeks.
The 81 Rookie of the Year for the Yankees. Had a great career here as a starter and as a reliever. The 3-1. Breaking ball strike.
Backdoor breaking ball. Robin has not seen anything middle of the plate in. That's what I mean about Hernandez's ability to pitch, even though he's only been in the league a few years. See, that just grazes the outside corner. Good idea about moving the ball around and changing speeds.
Runners go. The 3-2. Way inside. He walked. Here's Rondell White. Yankees lead 1-0. Bases loaded here in the bottom of the first. Pitch is outside. Rondell White, great numbers with the bases loaded. 2 grannies, hitting .323. Levon Hernandez has thrown 32 pitches this inning. And the 1-0. Breaking ball is outside. 2-0. No place to put Rondell White.
And I'm looking at Hernandez fielders. I mean, they haven't helped him this inning. He should be out of the inning, but boy, they're walking around pawing at the dirt. There's nothing more frustrating than playing behind a pitcher where, you know, they all have their little pre-pitch routine where you get ready, you're up on the balls of your feet, and then nothing happens.
2-0. There's a strike. Red balloon has gotten loose in left field. They'll stop play as the ball boy handles it. It's a pretty red balloon. Two-one. Driven out to right center field. Sanders is there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. So the Yankees get 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and the bases are left loaded. The end of 1-0 Yanks. Still filing into Yankee Stadium. It's a sellout. All 3 games sellouts here at the stadium. Yankees and the Giants. We go to the second inning. Yankees lead 1-0. Benito Santiago will lead off against Mike Mussina. Santiago has had a renaissance here in San Francisco. His career had gone downward after great seasons with the Padres. There's a strike.
And one of the few that has played here in Yankee Stadium, Benito, with a stopover in Toronto.
And the 0-1. A little bit low. He caught 133 games last year at the age of 36. Has good numbers here at the stadium in 10 games, a .300 batting average. Yeah, why doesn't he write the whole lineup down in that, man? I don't get it.
He'll catch up.
It disturbs me. Here's the 1-1. Line drive right at Soriano. Boy, that reminds you of the last game these 2 teams ever played in 1962.
Very timely, Michael. Yes, it sure was. Hitter in that game was on the other side of the dish.
Why don't we take a look at it?
It was game 7, bases loaded, 2 out. Ralph Terry and Willie McCovey hits a scorcher right at Bobby Richardson. And the Yankees win that World Series 4-3. Some great pitching in that series. 6 of the 7 games, complete game wins, 2 by Terry.
Hits the JT Snow. Is outside. There is that World Championship team, the '62 Yankees. You know, McCovey said he couldn't believe the ball was caught, not because it was hit so hard. That one is driven to right center field. Going back, Bernie Williams. He's there. And he'll put it away right on the lip of the warning track for the second out of the inning. McCovey said every National League team, the second baseman was playing me way over toward first base to pull. He said usually the shortstop was on the second base side. He said no one would have been there. Yeah. The Yankees didn't play him that way.
Not many runs scored in that game. Check the batting averages. Clete Boyer hit 300. Ralph Terry was the MVP. The late Jack Sanford pitched a couple of great games against the Yankees, as did Billy Pierce, and Whitey Ford also won a game in that series.
Yankees outscored the Giants 21-20 in that series. Here's Reggie Sanders. A little bit low.
Yankees saw him last year in the World Series with the Arizona Diamondbacks, Reggie Sanders.
And the 1-0 pitch. Popped up foul.
One of the things that today's hitters do, you see the average last season for Reggie, 33 home runs and 90 RBIs. Hitters talk about using their top hand. You'll see it with Bonds. You'll see it here with Reggie Sanders. Watch the way he waggles the bat. The top hand, that's where the hammer came from. Hank Aaron, the word hammer. Swing it like a hammer, not like a broom. And with these light bats and strength of the players today, that's how they can compress the ball, generate some bat speed.
Popped up foul behind the plate.
In fact, Barry Bonds in his press conference today was talking about his dad, Bobby, who played for the Yankees during those 2 years when they played at Shea Stadium. Bobby Bonds used like a 36, 37-ounce bat because the theory was the heavier the bat, the farther you can hit the ball. And Barry said, Dad, I can hit it as far as you can with a 31.5-ounce bat because I can generate more bat speed. You know, even when they don't hit it on the sweet spot, they shatter a lot of bats, but they get more distance out of it with a lighter bat.
1-2. A little bit low. Do you buy that?
Yeah, I sure do. You're seeing the same thing in golf these days with the metal equipment. There's Bobby Bonds during his days as a Giant. He was a terrific threat as a leadoff hitter like Rickey Henderson. He had the power and the speed. He struck out more than Rickey.
One nothing Yankees, top of the second. Sanders steps out. And the 2-2 popped up. Soriano on the outfield grass. Now he comes in, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. A 1-2-3 inning at that. At the end of 1.5 here at the stadium, 1-0 Yankees on CBS 2. Nick Johnson, and there's a strike.
Was out here tonight and participating in Barry Bonds' press conference this afternoon.
There's Eddie.
Loves the game and knows the game.
Good friend of Phil Rizzuto's.
Too bad last night's game was rained out. Scooter was here. I saw him on the way out and I said, hey, what's new? You're leaving early.
And the 1-1. Swung and missed.
I think what the first time through the order the Yankee hitters will see, that swing's an example of it. Hernandez is a fairly imposing figure on the mound. And with that nice easy motion, I think they're looking for a little bit more than there is. Kind of like that Peggy Lee fastball. Is that all there is? And they're out in front right now.
1-2. Foul back.
But he's got a great knack, like El Duque does, of pitching. Putting a little on, taking a little off. See, very simple, uncomplicated motion. Finds that comfortable spot on the rubber. Not quite as high a leg kick as El Duque. Probably throws it in the high 80s. Not overpowered.
Well, the Yankees are making him work because their shortest at bat so far has been 4 pitches.
Like most games, it'll come down to a battle of the bullpens. Nick has certainly had a good homestand, 368 the last half dozen games.
And the 2-2. A little bit low. That was the 41st pitch by Hernandez. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, plenty of time to read the press guide.
You have plenty of time to read War and Peace. And the 3-2. Strike 3 inside corner. Johnson down looking. Not in love with the call.
I mentioned earlier, Michael, that the umpires are doing a better job of not calling the pitch off the plate, but this is a pitch that I think hitters are going to see called more often. Now let's just see where this crosses Nick Johnson's knees. You see it crossed right there. And hitters are going to look back and say that's low because the catcher caught the ball low. But when it crosses home plate, see, that ball looks low. But from our side angle, you saw it crossed at the knees. And umpires are going to begin to call that strike more often.
There's Juan Rivera.
And hitters won't complain about that because you can hit the ball high or low, but you can't hit the one that's 3 feet away from you. So they'll adjust to that. Paul O'Neill's in our studio saying, no way.
The 1-0. Rivera made his Yankee 2002 debut on Wednesday. He was 1 for 3. But the at-bat that really impressed the Yankees was when he worked a walk in the 9th inning.
You know, and I see the Giants here playing him to pull, but his strength is he's got terrific power to right center.
And the 2-0. There it is to right center field. Giving chase is Reggie Sanders. He's there and he puts it away for the second out of the inning. So 2 down, back to the top of the lineup, and Alfonso Soriano. Soriano led out the first inning, reaching on a throwing error by David Bell at third, and he eventually came around to score the only run in the game. And the pitch. Popped up, right field, toward the line, Sanders. And that goes into the seats, foul. The field is in tremendous shape. It rained so much last night and this morning. But the one thing that Dave Righetti noticed when he came out on the field today, said, wow, this is a lot flatter than I remember.
Right.
It used to be crowned tremendously when he pitched here. But the Yankees put in a completely new field over the winter, and it really has held up with a lot of rain.
You know, it's paid for itself already in the games that probably would have been postponed earlier in the year. Once it stops raining, this thing drains so well, and it's much better for the fielders. You're not going to see outfielders slipping and sliding anymore.
Pitch is low. The crown used to be so pronounced that if we would shoot across at Dave Righetti right now, our camera on the first base side, you'd only see his head. But now it's completely flat. Line drive, base hit up the middle for Soriano. A 2-out single. Shinjo fields. He flips the ball into Aurelio. So that gives an at-bat to Derek Jeter here in the second inning.
Well, and it might give fans a chance to see if Benito Santiago still has that outstanding throwing arm. I mean, look where this pitch is. That is a foot outside and 6 inches off the ground, and yet Soriano, you talk about quick wrists. I mean, he ropes this ball back up the middle right over the head of Hernandez. There's some plate coverage right there. I would think would be a threat to steal early during the count here when Hernandez faces Jeter.
Jeter singled to right in the first inning, drives his average over 300, 301. Throw to first, and Soriano's back. There's a strike. Quick throw to first.
Yeah, he may not get the jump he wants. That's the one thing Hernandez really does well with those quick feet.
Pitches outside. You might have heard in the background. That base hit by Soriano extends his hitting streak to 10 straight. And that ties his career high. Pitch out, nothing doing.
Yeah, you can about bet he's going to try to go now. There you see where Alfonso ranks in all hitting categories. First in extra base hits, second in a lot of them. Top 10 in average.
Two-one. Hit sharply to short. Backhanded by Aurelia. He'll go to second. Gets the out the short way for the final out of the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left. We've played two here at Yankee Stadium. The New York Yankees won. The San Francisco Giants nothing. You're watching Yankees baseball on CBS 2. Back here at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees lead the Giants 1-0. The first game of the interleague slate. Damon Minor leads off against Mike Mussina. Mussina's given up one hit over the first two. There's a strike. Along with Jim Cott, I'm Michael Kay. Mussina against Levon Hernandez. Barry Bonds comes to the stadium for the first time. Yankees get on the board. RBI single off the glove of JT Snow by Jason Giambi in the first inning. That's the only scoring in the game. And all three games here in this series sold out. The place is jammed. There's a strike.
Yankees are looking at a left-handed version of Tony Batista. Tony Batista, who just left town with the Orioles, faces the pitcher and then steps into it. Same thing Damon Minor does. He's 6'7", not a particularly good fielder, but he's got home run power. See, he'll start facing the pitcher, but he'll close right up and get in a good position.
And he swings and misses for the first out of the inning. We mentioned that one of the people returning to Yankee Stadium, Giant pitching coach Dave Righetti. And in 1983 on July 4th, he had probably his greatest moment as a Yankee.
Striking out Wade Boggs to pitch a no-hitter.
I once asked Dave, I said, what was that dropping your head on Weininger's shoulder like that? He goes, I'm so embarrassed by that. He goes, I don't know what I was doing. I was so exhausted, I almost collapsed.
Looks as good now as he did then. I had a fun time talking with Rags before the game. The spring of 1980, it came down to the last pitching spot on the roster between Dave Righetti and myself. That's what he did in the major leagues as a starter and a reliever. 11 years with the Yankees, pitched a no-hitter there. Actually beat the Yankees here in the early 90s when he was with the White Sox. And Rudy May hurt his back that spring, so they needed an extra relief pitcher. I stayed on the roster. Rags went to Columbus to develop as a starter, which was the best thing for him. And then he came up the next year, was Rookie of the Year, and the rest is history.
That one is grounded just foul outside of third. I mean, you didn't try to lead him astray,
I tried, but he wouldn't bite. We had Nettles and Fred Stanley, and we'd say, come on, Rags, you don't have to go to bed that early and get all that rest. I mean, stay out with us old guys. Give us a chance.
He wouldn't bite, huh? He made up for that later, though. Here's the pitch to Shinjo. He foul tips to stay alive. Shinjo was traded to the Giants from the Mets during the offseason, very upset because in Japan, when you get traded, it's considered a terrible failure.
Really?
And he had to be told it's not like that in the United States, but he holds a definite grudge against the Mets. He said, I will get them back for doing that.
In a perfect world, he's probably a number 4 outfielder. He's a terrific outfielder. Hadn't shown he can hit in the big leagues yet.
And the 1-2. Dribbled slowly right side. Charging. Soriano. Bare hands. Fires. Got him. Oh, what a play by Soriano.
Boy, is that a confidence booster. And is he going to get a nice pat on the back from Willie Randolph? I mean, that is a difficult play to make. You got somebody that has some speed, and to catch it barehanded and make an accurate throw. You know, and Jason Giambi doesn't have as much time to pick up the ball as when we see Ventura do that from third. Just took a base hit away from Shinjo.
Willie watching his pupil. Having his pupils watch his pupil. Pitch the Bell as a strike. He's saying, yeah, I taught him that. Yep, that was all me. He has really worked with Soriano a lot. He turned a shortstop left fielder into a second baseman who's pretty darn good. Pitches away. Bell against the Yankees last season, not too good. 3 for 23. That was with Seattle. Son of Buddy Bell, ex-manager of the Rockies and of the Tigers. The 1-1.
A rare third-generation player. The Boones, Ray Boone, Bob Boone, now Brett Boone, who was David's teammate last year in Seattle. And David's grandfather, the late Gus Bell, terrific outfielder for years with the Reds and the Pirates, and then Buddy Bell is a great third baseman, his dad.
2-1. Popped up. Right side. Soriano. Wynn takes it, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. So Mike Mussina has retired 7 in a row. Coming up for the Yankees in the bottom of the third, Jeter, Giambi, and Bernie. Stay tuned. The site of the old Polo Grounds. Coogan's Bluff, now the Polo Ground houses. And that's where Willie Mays and all the great Giants, Mel Ott played, John McGraw managed, and it's right over the Harlem River from Yankee Stadium.
Dusty roads.
157th and 8th Avenue. Here's Giambi, drove in the game's only run, singling off the glove of J.T. Snow at first. And the pitch is a strike. The joint is jumping. It looks great. Very few empty seats. Those that are empty, they just haven't shown up. They've been paid for. All the games sold out. Willie Mays is not here. His jersey is. Here's the 1-0. Way inside. Giambi, 6 home runs in 92 career at-bats against the Giants. And the Giants and the A's, for those from the East Coast, it's kind of like the Yankees and the Mets.
Yeah, they'll play 6 games this year against each other.
And the 2-0. Swung and a missed high fastball.
That's one of those you can't. Jason's saying, how in the world I missed that pitch? You know, it wasn't 95 miles an hour, but left-hand hitters that are big and strong like that, if you can get the ball up and a little bit in, that really ties him up. And that's the impressive thing about Hernandez. He's not overpowering, but he can move the ball around and hit good spots.
And the 1-2 pitch. Grounded foul. Coming up in the 4th, Barry Bonds will get a second at bat. He singled in the first, the only blemish against Mike Mussina. Barry just chilling out left. And the 1-2. Driven out to left field, giving chase is Bonds. On the run, he makes the play for the first out of the inning.
Let's check out the way Hernandez and Santiago went at Giambi. Strike. Breaking ball down and in. There's that high fastball they snuck by him, and then they come back with an inside breaking ball. Didn't get that out as far as he wanted to, but Bonds with a good jump tracks it down.
Here's Bernie Williams against Hernandez. Swings and misses. As you can see, Bernie struck out in the first inning. There's a strike. If you are a sports fan this weekend, you got to find something to make you happy. I mean, everything's happening.
Choice. Where do you go? Or try to go to all of them. Get a helicopter.
Tomorrow, the Belmont Stakes. Foul back. You've got the Lewis Tyson fight at night.
Got the PGA tournament out at Westchester.
You've got the World Cup. You've got the NBA Finals. You've got the French Open.
Bob Baffert here tonight. He's hoping War Emblem becomes the first Triple Crown winner since Seattle Slew in 1977. He's a guest of the Yankees tonight.
Pitch is outside. You've got all the interleague play. You've got the Stanley Cup Finals. It's great. If you're a sports fan, it is great. On Sunday, the NBA Finals come back to the area. The Nets against the Lakers at Continental Airlines Arena. That's at night. Driven to left field, and that is a base hit in front of Bonds. So Bernie kind of fisted it out there, picks up a one-out single. Now, beginning Monday, you're not going to miss an exciting interleague series when the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Yankees square off June 10th through June 12th at Yankee Stadium. This three-game series is sure to be packed with plenty of thrilling moments. Tickets are going fast, so act now. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops. You can call Ticketmaster at 212-307-1212 or log on to Yankees.com. Well, about 55,000 people chose to be here tonight.
Yeah.
And they're watching a 1-0 Yankee lead over the Giants. Here's Posada. And the pitch is low. Posada is 3 for his last 18, 9 for his last 54, as his average has dipped to 276. A week ago, he was at 294, so he's lost 22 points.
Right, and that's what Joe Torre had mentioned about the lineup change. He said catching is a demanding position. He's going to wear down. His average is going to go down more than an infielder and outfielder because of that.
Count 2-0.
Couple choices here. Sometimes, you know, Joe Torre will say it's 2-0. Pick a pitch in your zone and drive it, or you could say Hernandez is going to throw a strike. Got to try to stay out of the double play. Good time to start the runner. When a hitter's in a slump, sometimes that makes you concentrate a little bit better on just making contact.
2-0 is up and in. You green light him now because you want to get him a pitch he can drive? On deck, Robin Ventura, who has great numbers, as we mentioned earlier, against Hernandez. There's a strike. Didn't throw one right over the plate.
like Santiago wanted it outside, and he flew it over the inside corner. Again, this has been Joe's favorite running count, Joe Torre, but this year the Yankees have not run as much 3-1 because of the high strikeout total.
3-1. Foul tipped in front of the plate. 3-2. Well, he didn't send him on 3-1, which is a good pitch to go on. Does he send him on 3-2?
Yeah, I think 3-2 he might, but you know, last few years you could just about count on the fact the runner's going. But this year, you know, a little bit hamstrung with this team. They're a different ball club. I mean, Paul O'Neill, Scott Brocious, Tino Martinez, Chuck Knobloch, they made more contact than Giambi and Rondell White in the platoon situation in right field. So you just don't want to run yourself out of innings, so he hasn't sent the runners as often.
Time is called. The one thing you worry about here, Posada has been striking out a lot, and Hernandez can keep the runner close. Bernie doesn't usually get a good jump. Bernie inches off. Doesn't have a huge lead. He goes. The 3-2 is outside. So Posada walks. That brings up Ventura.
Just for horse racing fans, let me correct that for the sake of accuracy. Seattle Slew was the last living Triple Crown winner. Won the Triple Crown 77 and died earlier this year. Affirmed actually was the last Triple Crown winner in 1970. It was back-to-back years, and we haven't had one since.
Ventura walked in the first inning. First and second, one out. We're in the bottom of the third inning here at the stadium. There's a strike. You know, we mentioned that the Diamondbacks were coming to town on Monday. The Diamondbacks already helping the Yankees out. They've jumped out to a 4-1 lead over the Red Sox in the fourth inning. Luis Gonzalez with this 12th home run.
Schilling will pitch against the Red Sox. Johnson won't. Johnson will pitch against the Yankees. Schilling won't. Randy Johnson scheduled to pitch here Monday night.
And the 0-1. Swung and missed.
We're talking during Reggie Sanders at bat, you know, and you see Soriano, how they waggle the bat like a hammer. See, Robin Ventura is just the opposite. When Robin waggles the bat, you'll see him do it around the knees, which is why he likes the ball low. And if they can pitch him up here, that's the toughest pitch. See, when he gets ready, he's swinging that bat down around the knees. That's where he likes it, right there, low and in.
And the 0-2 outside. You know, Rick Down tells me, though, that if you have a smooth swing right through the zone, the head of the bat is in the hitting zone more. He said if you come straight down like that, the point of contact is instantaneous. You have to have perfect timing.
Well, you do keep the barrel of the bat through the hitting zone longer by doing that, but you're doing that by swinging down also. It's not like you chop straight down toward the plate.
Swings and misses. Oh, I got you. So you're not coming straight down, but you're swinging downward.
There are a few hitters. Will Clark was an uppercutter. Just a slight uppercut. And there again is what Hernandez did to Bernie Williams earlier. There's a rather long swing through the zone, but Hernandez taking a lot off. That's a pitch that is sorely missing in the game today, is the slow curve. I tell you, if a pitcher comes up, we saw it the other night with Sidney Ponson, who had great stuff for about 7 innings, but if you come up with a slow curve, that is a great weapon against a power hitting lineup like the Yankees.
See the ratio of pitches there, 42 strikes, 72 pitches overall, and the pitch to Rondell White is outside. White fly to right field with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the first inning. Yankees had a chance to really put some distance between themselves and the Giants, but White flied out. First and second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. 1-0 Yankees. Check swing. They check with the first base umpire, and Jerry Crawford says no, so the count 2-0.
If this was a time of possession game, the Giants would be way out in front. Hernandez has had the ball. Let's see, it's 8:20. We played about an hour and 10 minutes, and Hernandez has had the ball, it seems like, for an hour, and Mussina's had it about 10 minutes.
That one is skied to center field, coming on Shinjo. He's there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Do not go to the kitchen. This is not the time to go to the kitchen. Barry Bonds is up next inning. He'll be the second batter in the lineup. So why would you go anywhere? Bonds against Mussina, 1-0 Yanks. That means it's time for the Aflac trivia question. The question is, who are the only 2 players who have played for the Yankees? The Mets, the Giants, and the Dodgers. I know this one. How about you, Jim?
I don't know.
We'll tell you the answer in the bottom of the 4th. Don't stress.
Okay.
We'll have the Aflac trivia answer in the bottom of the inning. Here's Rich Aurelia against Mike Mussina. There's a strike.
This has got to be the favorite spot in anybody's lineup, is to hit ahead of Barry Bonds. You're looking at that bat that's called a Sam bat. A gentleman named Sam Holman up in Canada makes those bats. It is maple. Years ago, everybody used ash. Bonds was talking about his bat. He said, you know, most of the hitters today use maple because it doesn't chip like ash. We've seen bats just shatter in half, but that bat is so hard. I mean, it is hard as granite, and it's only 31.5 ounces.
And the 0-2. Way outside.
If you could pick a spot anywhere in anybody's lineup, you'd want to hit right where Rich Aurelia does. Ahead of Barry Bonds. You're going to get a lot of fastballs to hit, and last year had 37 home runs and knocked in 97.
And the 1-2. A little bit low. Batting behind him is not too bad either, because you always have people on base to drive in.
Right.
3 years in a row, Aurelia led National League shortstops in home runs and RBIs. So there is something to that. And the 2-2. Swung and a miss. He struck him out. High fastball by Mussina. Here's Bonds again.
Well, in the first inning, he saw a high breaking ball and then that changeup out of the way into the bat, but still got a base hit. Only a 1-run lead, 4th inning. See how Mussina goes at him.
Bonds hitting .347. And the pitch. Popped up. Out of play. You'll see every pitch delivered, the flashbulbs go off like they do in the first pitch of a World Series. Everyone trying to capture that moment on film. Strange, though, 20 home runs and just 38 runs batted in. I guess the guys in front of him are not getting on.
Right.
Or they must be walking him when people are in scoring position. And the 0-1. There's a strike.
High and tight, low and away. He's got that compact swing. Very fast hands. A complete player.
Even outside the stadium, they're watching Barry Bonds. And the 0-2. A little bit low. Rick Down, who was the batting coach a couple of years ago for the Dodgers, said, I've never seen hands like that. He said, those are electric hands.
Albert Bell had fast hands. Muhammad Ali had the fastest. Barry Bonds is right there.
Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side. The 1-2 is way outside. Down said the only way you could really pitch to him effectively, he said, you have to outguess him. He said, so you got a 50% chance. He said, if he knows where the ball's going to be, he's going to crush it. He said, if he's looking inside, you throw inside, no matter how good the pitch is, he'll hit it. He said, so you've got to guess ahead of him. And the 2-2. Low and inside.
Yeah, you can see the respect pitchers have for Bonds. Here's Mike Mussina, one of the great control pitchers. He's gotten ahead of Bonds 0-2, and none of the next 3 pitches have even been close.
Bonds a .559 on base percentage. And the 3-2. Swung and a miss. He struck him out.
Rare indeed. Here's the pattern. High fastball, and then low and away. He's ahead 0-2. None of these next 3 pitches are even close. And then Mussina says, here it is, hit it if you can. And that is only the 18th time this year that Barry Bonds has struck out. And a lot of people captured it on film.
Christmas time in the Bronx, and that's a present for Yankee fans. Here's Jeff Kent, and there's a strike. 18 strikeouts, 68 walks.
I mean, when you look at most of your power hitters, they're going to have more strikeouts than walks by a fair margin. So that ratio for Bonds is just a great insight into what a great player he is.
Check swing, but he goes around the count 0-2. Well, except for Bonds' single up the middle, Mike Mussina has been perfect tonight. He's retired 9 in a row after that single.
Well, I have a feeling if this continues, the Giants' comment after the game might be, we saw a little more powerful version of Greg Maddux. Because Mike has that kind of control. He's got a variety of pitches, and he's a little more of a power pitcher than Maddux.
And the 0-2. Swung and a miss. He struck him out. 10 in a row for Mussina. He strikes out the side. We played 3.5 here at Yankee Stadium. The New York Yankees won. The San Francisco Giants nothing, and you're watching New York Yankees baseball on CBS 2. Well, we told you we'd give you the Aflac trivia answer here in the bottom of the 4th. We never lie. The question was, who are the only 2 players who have played for the Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, and the Dodgers? And the answer is Darryl Strawberry and Jose Vizcaino. Jose Vizcaino with a very big hit in a World Series win for the Yankees.
Bobby Mercer has a great trivia question for everyone for Sunday. You won't want to miss that.
Has he let you in on it?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to tip anybody off on it.
Tell me later.
Maybe.
1-0 Yankees over the Giants. Bottom of the 4th. Nick Johnson leading off. He looked at a first pitch strike. That pitch is up and away. Stadium waiting for a reason to get loud. That's not it.
And you said the stadium. There's only one stadium.
Yes.
And it's Yankee Stadium. And we get kind of spoiled coming here so often. And just to give you an idea how special it can be for even guys who have been around baseball a long time. Mike Krukow pitched for 14 years in the major leagues. There's the Kruk, won 20 games for the Giants, 1986. Broadcasting for him now for 12 years. It is his first time ever in Yankee Stadium. He came out with me today, went right out to Monument Park. He was like an 8-year-old kid.
Really?
And there's a guy who's been involved in the game for, 25 years. And this is his first trip to Yankee Stadium.
It looks great. And the 2-2. Strike 3 inside corner. Johnson down looking. He's 0 for 2. Same deal each time. Hey, the Subway Series is back. Nobody's going to want to miss the next CBS 2 Yankees game when the Bombers head to Shea to take on the Mets. Don't miss it next Friday night at 7, right here on CBS 2. There's the Subway headed right towards Shea right now. And you know who's going to be on that Subway meeting us there in the booth with us?
David Cone.
David Cone.
Well, I thought he was warming up in Florida to pitch for the Yankees.
Whichever comes first.
What a country. You got your choice.
Here's Juan Rivera. Pitch is low. I wonder if any pitcher has ever started a game in the booth, signal, and then goes in and pitches.
Not that I know of.
But that was a big story in Newsday today that David wants to pitch for the Yankees, and they have told him to stay ready in case they need a pitcher. He's been throwing since spring training. The 1-0. There's a strike.
Juan Rivera, fans have not seen a lot of Juan, just called up recently, and he's a hybrid of Derek Jeter and Juan Gonzalez, the great slugger with the Rangers, in the way he holds his bat. You know, there are very few hitters that hold the bat that high up over their head. Gonzalez does, and so does Jeter, and that's why from that position he can take that pitch low and away and hit it a long way to the opposite field.
That one is driven to the opposite field, right down the line, but it slices foul. Is there a negative to that, though, because it takes so long to get the hands down into a hitting position that you're a little late on some fastballs?
The more movement, you know, he's going to be vulnerable. He's a free swinger. He's going to be vulnerable to the pitches up and in. You know, you see Santiago wants it down and away. Now, breaking ball down and away, they can get him, but boy, he's got good plate coverage there. See, when a guy stands away from the plate, he likes the ball away. So I would not be surprised if Derek Jeter thought that might be out for a minute. I would not be surprised to see pitchers start throwing the ball up and into him.
Well, Juan hasn't been here long enough to have his helmet that dirty. I mean, that's usually a guy who's been here 4 or 5 months. He's been here 2 games now. Pine tar all over the helmet. Waggling the bat calls time. Joe Torre on Juan Rivera. This spring he showed something that you can't teach. He can hit it to all fields and can adjust during an at-bat. Those things caught my eye. He'll be our regular right fielder for now. Swings and misses, goes down on strikes, the high fastball.
Yeah, it'll be a feeling out process for Rivera and for the Yankees. There was an example of the fastball up and in, but you know, the Yankees could have gone out and tried to get Raul Mondesi or Jose Cruz or even Bobby Higgins, and Cruz strikes out too much to fit into this lineup anyway. But they're saying, why not take a homegrown product with great potential and give him a chance first, and then if it doesn't work out, maybe you go to plan B.
That's worked out with this guy, Alfonso Soriano. 1 for 2 tonight with a run scored. And the pitch. Rivera is in right field now because of the lack of production from Vanderwall and Spencer. They platooned out there. The batting average not bad, but 3 home runs and 12 ribbies. After 60 games last year, O'Neill's numbers, power-wise and production-wise, so much more. The pitch is high.
I'll bet you got Paul O'Neill. You saw what Paul did there in the bottom of the graphic. You got his attention back in the studio when you mentioned Coney doing a game in the booth and then pitching.
Right.
You might try to do the same thing.
And O'Neill looks like he's in pretty good shape. Swung on a miss. And you know, though, he'd have to fight Neville, his wife.
Be tough to unretire.
It's tempting, though. Michael Jordan was telling me that just the other day. The 2-1. There's a strike. David Cone always used to say, though, he said, you're going to have to tear the uniform off me. He said, because when you retire, you really can't come back. But he made it a very important point all spring to not say he was retired. He said, I'm not pitching for anybody right now. So he didn't want to announce any kind of retirement because in the back of his mind, he wanted to come and pitch for a team in July or August. 2-2. Foul back.
Well, if you know, in all seriousness, if he wants to do that, he's Yeah, he's got the same waggle as Bonds and Alfonso. He's learned, and he can switch hit. Yeah, got the move. No, you're wise if you're David Cohn, and you don't want to is to keep throwing, because once you're inactive for like 6 months, that's when it's really tough to come back. So he's continuing to work out. That's a good sign.
So we should bring the glove to the booth. He might want to throw between innings next Friday. And the 2-2. Foul back.
See, that's the kind of progress Soriano has made. Joe Torre was impressed by Juan Rivera's at bat the other night when he fell behind 0-2 and then drew a walk. Last year, Alfonso probably would have struck out on that pitch. But now he's got more discipline, more confidence. He waits back, and he'll foul off good pitchers' pitches, and then if they make a mistake, boom.
2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hernandez has thrown 90 pitches. Here's 91. In the dirt, the count is full. The average is 105 pitches a game, so he's not long for this game. Levon said that he used to throw 175 pitches a game in Cuba. But there are relief pitchers here.
Yeah, I don't think they let him pitch that many. Just to put that in perspective, fans, a normal 9-inning game that a pitcher pitches well, he would throw about 13 pitches an inning. So that's, what is that, 100 and 112, or, somewhere between 105 and 120 is a good number of pitches for 9 innings. So the fact that Hernandez already has, close to 104, and that gives you an idea how many pitches he's really thrown tonight.
And the 3-2. Breaking ball, strike 3. What a beautiful pitch. It froze Soriano. And Hernandez does what Mussina did. He struck out the side. Righetti liked what he saw, that's for sure. We played 4 at the stadium. 1-zip Yankees. Mike Mussina has been great. He's allowed 1 hit, a first-inning single to Barry Bonds. After that, well, he's been perfect. He's retired 10 in a row. Benito Santiago, the catcher and the number 5 batter in the Giant lineup, will lead off here in the top of the 5th. And Mussina deals. Swung and a miss.
He's got an exceptional fastball tonight. I think all 3 strikeouts in the 4th inning were on fastballs. And again, you're seeing what an advantage a pitcher has the first time the lineup sees him. If you're aggressive and throw strikes, you've got a big advantage the first time you see a lineup.
And the 0-1. Count levels. Well, it seems like lineups don't make that many adjustments to him the second time. Third time, maybe because of fatigue, the average goes up just a little bit. He is a thinking man's pitcher out there. That one is ripped down the right field line, but foul.
Early count hitter, and the bottom bullet, of course, is as his catching ability. He's been known as one of those catchers with a quick release that can throw runners out from his knees.
Told you, Levon Hernandez with a high pitch count. Mike Mussina has thrown just 56 pitches. And the 1-2. High fastball, check swing. Did he go? Did he? No, he did not, said Jerry Crawford.
Santiago did a pretty good job of selling that. I know a lot of umpires would have rung him up, but I think by holding up and running backwards, that actually helped influence the call.
And the 2-2. driven out to right field. Juan Rivera is there. Now coming in. One down.
Let's take a look at that strikeout package from the 4th inning, Michael, and see what he got him on. There's a high-moving fastball, and Bonds on the fastball, and Kent on the fastball.
That was the 4th inning when he struck out the side. Here's J.T. Snow. J.T. Snow used to be a switch hitter. Gave it up. Now he just bats from the left side. Just couldn't hit very well from the right side.
Good reason to give it up.
That is a good reason. And also, it's a good side to give up if you're a switch hitter. Well, only 20% of the starters in the big leagues are left-handed. Well, JT's not hitting much even from the left side, just 217. Popped up, sky high, behind the plate. Posada. 2 away. Hey, let's take a look back at a Yankees landmark event. The last time the Yankees played the Giants, that was in 1962 in the World Series. Also in 1962, General Motors celebrated the production of its 75 millionth car made in the USA. This look back has been brought to you by Chevy. Chevy will be there. 1962, I was 1 year old.
Really?
Yep. That's a long time ago.
You should have seen that 62 Chevy.
Really nice.
Oh, cool. Power glide.
Here's Reggie Sanders. I didn't have an automobile. I had a mobile. Just over my crib. Two down, top of the 5th inning. Yankees 1 and the San Francisco Giants nothing. The beginning of interleague play here in the 2002 season. And the 1-0. Fouled off of Posada. The count 1-1.
And Mussina was scheduled to pitch last night, and they were rained out. I happened to be down there when Joe Torre said, well, you're going to pitch tomorrow night. He's just going to move the whole rotation back. There's Sanders fouling it off the mask of Posada. And with that extra day's rest, it seems like Mike has a little more pop on the ball. This is his 6th day instead of his 5th day. And he has a much better fastball than he's had in quite some time.
1-1 to Sanders. Pitch is high. This is a 2001 Mike Mussina game. He pitches great. The Yankees don't score that many runs.
Yeah.
One 4-0 Yankees, 0-1-1 for the Giants, and the 2-1. Fastball is inside, 3-1.
Hasn't had to deal with this count very often. He took Bonds to a full count, challenged him with a fastball, got the inexperienced but powerful Damon Minor on deck.
And the 3-1 pitch. He walked him. That is the first base runner since 2 outs in the 1st inning when Bonds singled to center field. That brings up Damon Minor. If you're interested in the Yankees, the ultimate way to follow the Yankees, just go to Yankees.com. Go to Yankees.com for Total Ticket. It's the ultimate way to follow the Yankees, giving you insider access to audio, video, and game notes exclusively at Yankees.com. Sanders is back.
He'd be a base stealing threat.
Damon Minor, the way he faces the pitcher, Jimmy, looks like he's laughing at him. Evil looking.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, let's go.
Staring him down.
Give me the pitch. Pitch is outside. Minor 9 for his last 35.
Sanders has stolen 9. He's been caught 3 times. does look like a happy hitter.
That might unnerve me if I was a pitcher.
Well, you wouldn't look at it.
You wouldn't look at his face?
No, you're looking at Mike Mussina's just looking at Posada and his target.
There's no way you see that mug in your field of vision?
I mean, you might glance at it coming up, but if try not to look at the hitter.
Ooh. Big cut.
Right on time, too. It's one of those, if you're Mike Mussina, he's probably saying, I'm glad I'm getting another ball back. That looked like rub up a new one time. Miners had years in the minors, you know, of 20 home runs, 30 home runs.
A lot of smiles. Breaking ball strike.
Put him in the same lineup with Joe Randall for Kansas City.
The Joker.
The Joker, yeah.
Imagine if he wasn't hitting 237, if he was hitting 337. He'd be doubled over. Hey, he's a big leaguer, right? Smile too. And the 2-2. Line right at Jeter off his glove. Rolls into the outfield. That is going to be a base hit. He hit that ball so hard that it handcuffed Jeter. So runners on first and second, and that brings up Shinjo.
Pitch out away, and it looked like because it was hit right back at Mussina that Derek was blinded by it, but for just an instant didn't quite get the jump on it because of the fact that I think Mussina blocked out the line drive and then still got leather out. The ball was hit hard.
Sanders at second. Minor is at first. Here is Shinjo. Grounded to second. That was in the third. That one is grounded left side. Diving stop by Jeter. He saves a run. Shinjo safe. The bases are loaded, but if that gets through, Sanders scores and the game is tied. So good play by Jeter.
Showing great range and full out. That's the play Michael referred to. That very little chance for Derek to make a play, even had he fielded it cleanly. But by knocking it down and keeping it in the infield, it keeps Sanders at third base.
Here's David Bell now in a very important at bat. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Bell is 0 for 2. Struck out, popped to second. First jam of the game for Mussina. There's a strike. He's never had a grand slam. 19 for 64 though with the bases jammed. That's 297. Mussina elects to go from the stretch. He could go from the full windup if he wanted with the bases loaded. And the 0-1. Fastball is high, 1-1. San Francisco has had 4 base runners. They all got on with 2 outs. 2-out single by Bonds. Everything in this inning has happened after 2 outs. And the 1-1. Foul back. And the count now 1-2. And the 1-2. Fouled away. They'll do it again. Reggie Sanders on third. Damon Minor on second. Tsuyoshi Shinjo is on first. 2 men out. Yankees holding on to a 1-0 lead. Top of the 5th inning. At the plate, David Bell. And the 1-2. It gets away from Posada. Here comes Sanders. Here's the play at the plate. He's out! A great tag by Mussina and a heads-up play by Posada. Sanders takes a chance and gets gunned down at home plate.
Great tag right here by Mussina. Good reactions by Posada. All he could do is flip it underhand.
We're halfway through. Yankees lead 1-0. He's out. Exciting.
That's a tricky way to get out of a jam. You don't work on that in spring training. You know, just a ball that got away from Posada. And, you know, Reggie, I don't think Dusty Baker's unhappy with Reggie Sanders. He haven't been able to break through against Mussina, and it's a 2-strike count. And I mean, he gets a good jump. He takes right off, and Posada made a nice underhand flip, and then Mussina in good position. Of course, Mike, a Gold Glove fielder, great anticipation. Get down there and get the tag between Sanders' hand and the plate. Phil Cuzzy right on the call.
You know what he did too, Jim? He blocked it with his foot, so he didn't give him that much of the plate to hit. Pretty good play all around.
Perfect execution.
5 Gold Gloves for Mike Mussina, and he shows it off right there. Jeter will lead it off against Livan Hernandez. Along with Jim Cott, I'm Michael Kay. Bottom of the 5th inning. Yankees lead the Giants 1-0. The only run in the 1st inning. Giambi singles up the glove of J.T. Snow, driving on Alfonso Soriano, and since then it's been a pitcher's duel. Hernandez against Mussina. It's blown away. This is the first game of a 3-game interleague set between these two squads. The first time these two teams have met since 1962. That was a World Series game. Game 7 at Candlestick Park. 1-1. There's a strike.
Charles and Dorothy are here. Mr. and Mrs. Jeter.
And they see their son pick up his 2nd base hit of the night. Jeter makes a big turn, but Shinjo fires the ball in. So a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Breaking ball meant to be down and away. That either didn't get down as far as he wanted or didn't have a lot of bite on it.
It must be a pretty neat feeling to watch your son play baseball and watch him play it well.
And they've seen a lot of it here in Derek's career.
There's Jason Giambi. There's a strike.
Boy, this is an unusual alignment. Now, with nobody on, of course, they swing Giambi way around, but they still do. This is the old play him to pull on the infield, but play him the other way in the outfield. They leave him a huge gap in right center field.
Snap throw to first, and Jeter's back. Giambi's 1 for 2 tonight, hitting now .320. That's the highest batting average on the team. And for a guy who got off slowly, 320, 16 homers, and 47 ribbies, the numbers are pretty darn good. 3 weeks ago tonight, he had that grand slam in the rain, 14th inning, to beat the Minnesota Twins. He's 5 for his last 10, and during that time driving in 5 runs. And he's putting up MVP type numbers again. He won it 2 years ago. He came in second, just barely, to Ichiro.
And the Giants have a pretty good idea of what they'd like to do with him, because he's been involved in the interleague series between the A's and the Giants.
Tied him up, but he checks his swing, and the count 1-1.
Checked his swing, and I think Santiago and Hernandez thought it might have been a good pitch anyway without the check swing call.
Don't adjust your TV. That's just some snow. One. It's high. Hernandez's next pitch will be his 100th.
That is a lot of pitches. He doesn't have an out in the 5th inning.
No one warming for the Giants in the bullpen. Driven deep to right field. Going back Sanders. On the track, he has room, and he puts it away for the first out of the inning. Just didn't get it as Jeter heads back to first.
Let's look at the pitch-by-pitch pattern. Gets ahead with a fastball. There's the check swing way out of the strike zone. And then maybe just a little in on the trademark, but tonight I think is one of the first nights I've ever seen with the bat handle out there that we've talked about, the gold bat that Don Mattingly, taught us that it carries the direction, and the knob is actually pointing out, which means the ball would carry, but everything hit to right field tonight has been held up. Some of the infield pop-ups we've seen the infielders run way in on.
Pitch to Bernie is fouled away. Well, the flags over the facade are blowing from right to left, and as Jim said, that weather vane, it's blowing straight in. 101 pitches for Hernandez. Jeter hardly off the bag when he threw over.
Hernandez probably does that from time to time to give himself a little breather, because he's had to work so hard here through the first 4 to 3rd innings.
Getting into the Giant bullpen is not a cause for celebration. They have a pretty good pen. Breaking ball bounces straight up in the air, but Santiago grabs it. Jeter stays put.
Another running count. Again, it's a rarity this year to see the Yankees run, but this certainly would be. They've left 6 men on base. The Yankees have. They'd have 5 hits. They've certainly had more opportunities than the Giants. See what Joe opts to do here.
That one's lined, base hit to right field. Jeter on second. He's going to go to third. Sanders will fire it in to Kent. A single for Bernie, his second hit of the night. The Yankees have runners on the corners, 1 out for Posada.
Santiago wanted it in, but it caught too much of the plate. You see Bernie bring the hands in, keep the hands inside the ball, fight it off with that strong upper body. And that certainly should get a call to the San Francisco bullpen. With the high pitch count, first and third, and only one out.
Posada 0 for 1 with a walk. Good speed on the bases for the Yankees. Jeter is at third, Bernie Williams at first. Posada a .333 hitter with runners in scoring position. Line drive, base hit to left field. Jeter will score. Bernie moves to second. Bonds fires into Aurelia. An RBI single for Posada, and the Yankees are up 2-0.
That nice hitting by Posada. The pitch is low and away, and that's the direction Posada takes it. It's one of those, if it were a boxing match, you know, the Yankees have been jabbing, just getting a few blows in. But if a pitcher is ever vulnerable for a knockout punch, it would be right now for Hernandez. Dave Righetti giving him a little breathing room. But when you have thrown this many pitches, and now you get deep into this inning, Ventura coming up for the third time, Hernandez is about as vulnerable to giving up a long ball as a pitcher could be.
You saw Righetti jog off, some fans behind the dugout greeting him. Also his number 19, which he wore here with the Yankees. Did you know that Robin Ventura asked for number 19 to honor Dave Righetti?
Really?
They became very good friends when they were with the White Sox together.
Yeah. Okay.
Ventura 0 for 1 with a walk. And the pitch is inside. Ventura, while taking batting practice, the Yankees have an indoor batting cage down the right field line. And they have some old promotional items down there. And one of them is a stand-up Dave Righetti poster. And Ventura and Vanderwall got into Righetti's locker today. So when he came in, he was greeted with it. Now it is a deep drive to left center field. Going back, Bonds, and he reaches up and makes the play on the warning track. Great play by Bonds as the Yankee runners retreat. Ventura gave it a ride.
Yeah, and a little look at why Barry Bonds is a complete player. He made that look very easy. This is as big a left field as he's ever played. Left field at Yankee Stadium. And Robin Ventura hits it to the deepest part of the ballpark. As long a fly out as you can hit by a left-hand hitter without hitting a home run.
Now he looks like he's happy he's in left field.
I can't believe he'd want a DH. He's too good a player to want a DH.
Here's Rondell White. Swung and missed. Right-hander is up for the Giants. It's former Yankee Jay Wojtaszek,
who's been doing a very good job out of that bullpen for the Giants.
Check swing, blooper to Kent, and that will do it here in the fifth. Yankees get another run, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Coming up in the 6th inning for the Giants, Bell, Aurelia, and Bonds. Insurance run for the Yankees.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's tonight's starting lineup on the Yes Network, the home of champions.
Due to time constraints, we move ahead now to the top of the 7th.
We go to the 7th inning here at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees lead the Giants 2-0. It is a big, big weekend in New York. The Yankee games and the Belmont tomorrow. We're joined by the governor of New York, George Pataki. Thanks for coming by.
Good being here tonight. You know, I've never seen the Giants play in person before. I've seen them on TV, obviously, but this is the first time. Of course, they haven't been here in 40 years, so that's one of the reasons.
Now, the governor, Jim, is a huge baseball fan.
Yes, and horse racing fan. I see him at the track at Saratoga.
Well, everybody's going to be at the Belmont tomorrow, and it should be a very exciting day. But this is just an incredible night tonight for baseball.
This is what's good about interleague play.
It is great. 55,000 people, and the Yankees, of course, are beating the Giants, so that's what it's all about.
Benito Santiago leads off. He looked at the first pitch out of the strike zone, so they count 1-0. 55,000 people have jammed their way into Yankee Stadium. All 3 games sold out. And as we mentioned, tomorrow the Belmont War Emblem goes for the Triple Crown. They expect about 90,000 there. Grounded foul. That's a lot of tax money into the state.
It's a great thing. And then next weekend we got the U.S. Open at a public course on Long Island. So this is a great period for sports here in New York.
First time you've seen that on a scoreboard on a game that counts since 1962, as the governor said, when the 2 teams met in the World Series. Yankees won that one in 7 games. And the 1-1 pitch to Santiago. Grounded up the middle. Soriano tries to backhand, can't come up with the ball, so Santiago reaches.
Well, Soriano realized the only way he's going to get Santiago with the ball hit there is to almost field it and try to make the exchange all at once. He never could get control of the ball with his glove. And see now if Dusty Baker, since the Giants have not had many opportunities, opts to start running a little bit against Mussina.
So Santiago on with nobody out. Here is JT Snow. Snow is 0 for 2. And the pitch outside. Obviously, Governor, this state and this city went through so much after September 11th. What is the state of the state right now?
And Mike, I'll tell you, this city is vibrant and exciting. The state is full of energy, and it's not just tonight at the stadium with 55,000 people. You go to Lower Manhattan, you sense the excitement, you sense the optimism, and I've never seen New Yorkers as unified today, still as we have been since September 11th.
That's a line drive up the middle. A base hit for Snow. Moving to second is Santiago. Williams fields and flips it into Jeter. So successive singles to open up the inning, and the Giants have themselves a threat. First and second, nobody out.
Bullpen getting ready. Stanton and Carsey and Mel Stottlemyre make a trip to the mound to buy a little time for him. Interesting to see what Dusty Baker opts to do here down near the bottom of the lineup, whether he bunts or not. We're talking about that 62 World Series. It's almost like a lot of major events that happen, even though that was minor in terms of world events. But I'll never forget where I was. I was out playing in the instructional league at a stop, pulling into up to a stop sign in Clearwater, Florida, when McCovey hit that line drive at Bobby Richardson.
I remember that line drive so well, and I was terrified when it was hit.
Here's a look at it. Bases loaded. And Michael pointed out earlier, McCovey was surprised that the Yankees played him there. And that was a pitching series. There were only 41 runs scored in 7 games in the entire series.
Well, and it was great for Ralph Terry, because I also remember when Mazeroski hit the home run the year before, and that was a black moment in my life. But it was great to see Bobby Richardson come up with the catch and end that series.
Here is Reggie Sanders, first and second, and nobody out. Yankees lead 2-0, top of the 7th inning. And the pitch. A little bit low. Now, you were a Yankee fan right from the very beginning, right?
Right from the beginning, as a little kid. You know, Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra and Whitey Ford and Elston Howard. And how could you not root for the Yankees?
I was sitting next to the governor at the Yankee Welcome Home Dinner. He got the Pride of the Yankees award, and you looked about as happy then as you would if you won an election.
It really was exciting. You know, when you just grow up idolizing the Yankees, and then you have a chance to see them as much as we have the last few years, and they've done so well. Now, they've really put together just a tremendous team year after year, and that's what the Yankees are supposed to be like.
They try a pickoff at second, but Santiago got back. Sanders tonight is 0 for 1 with a walk. And the 1-0. A little bit inside, 2-0. Now next week, more tax money coming in. Yankees Mets.
Yankees Mets.
Will you be there for that?
I hope I can make it. I'm not sure, but it's always just a tremendous event. Now this is great television when the baseball games get close, but I prefer it if we'd have a triple play here and the Yankees would be in solid shape.
The 2-0. There's a strike. Now we had a mayor here in New York City that didn't care about who he rooted for. He very clearly said to the Mets, "I'm a Yankee fan." Do you have to?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, Rudy was the #1 Yankee fan and probably still is. He loves the Yankees the same way I do. And it was a little tough when we had the Subway Series, but Rudy and I both were Yankee fans. I actually went to Shea Stadium with a Yankee hat.
That's gutsy.
Well,
swung and a miss. The count 2-2. We're in the top of the 7th inning here at Yankee Stadium. The Giants are threatening against Mussina. Yankees lead 2-0, but the Giants have Santiago on second, JT Snow at first. Zimmer and Torrey trying to talk their way out of this one. And the Yankee bullpen getting ready. Carsey and Stanton. Crowd quiet in anticipation.
I think what Zim and Joe were talking about, and that's the reason Zim's a bench coach, is, you know, he had Sean Dunston in Chicago. And so Joe's probably saying, now if I bring Stanton in to face Minor, who are they going to bring off the bench? Well, they have Sean Dunston over there. So they're talking right now about the possible matchups. We said early in the game it'll probably come down to a battle of the bullpens.
And the 2-2. Grounded left side, through for a base hit. Santiago rounds third. He will score. The throw, not in time as Posada moves up. An RBI single for Reggie Sanders. The Giants are on the board. Yankee lead is now 2-1. And here's Joe Torre.
Well, not hit particularly hard, but in a good spot. The breaking ball got a little too much of the plate from Mussina's standpoint. Jeter makes a nice effort, and of course Sonny Jackson, the third base coach, knows Rondell White from the National League. He does not have a strong throwing arm.
Well, that'll do it for Mussina. 98 pitches. We thank the governor for stopping by. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.
See you, Michael.
We'll come back with the matchup after this. Roger Clemens watching every sequence, every at-bat. He will pitch on Sunday against the Giants. But that Sunday, right now, the Yankees are in a jam. They bring in Mike Stanton with runners on first and second, nobody out.
There's what Mike has done. 28 games, 29 and 2/3 innings, less than a hit per inning, only 2 home runs with 9 walks and 20 strikeouts. And Dusty Baker will go to his bench for the aforementioned veteran Sean Dunston. Now, you would not think that he would. That's Gene Klein's, the Giants hitting coach, and has all those reports and all the information both teams need on how to pitch hitters, where to play them in the field. There's the pitcher profile the Yankees have on Livan Hernandez. That tells you things like what percentage of first pitch fastballs a guy throws, and what his best pitch is. Interesting thing here, Michael, will be, will Dusty Baker send Sean Dunston up to bunt? I mean, oftentimes you don't send a pinch hitter up to do that. That's what he's done against Stanton in his career. If you bunt, you have Shinjo next, who's not really a what you'd consider an RBI guy. So I would not think that Sean Dunston is going up there in a pinch hitting situation to sacrifice.
Dunston familiar with this ballpark? Jefferson High School, a #1 draft pick in 1982, and he came up to the batting cage and gave Don Zimmer a hug like he hadn't seen him in 20 years. They used to be together in Chicago, and Zimmer lit up when he saw Dunston.
Oh, yeah. It's one of his favorites, and I think Sean Dunston thanks Zim for, you know, influencing him into how important it is to play hard and run hard every day, come ready to play.
Dunston 2 for 9 with a home run as a pinch hitter, 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Stanton deals, popped him up, infield. Giambi, 1 away. A big out for Mike Stanton.
Well, I'll say. a big one pitch out. Dunston up there to, from Dusty Baker's standpoint, to try to hit the ball the other way, and to counteract that, you come inside, and you can see the frustration right there on Dunston's face, and that's all Mike Stanton had to do.
Here comes Joe Torre. So Stanton will actually get paid for this day.
Yes.
One pitch. We did his job. We live in a great country. Mike will leave. Steve Carsey will come on. So Carsey will face Shinjo. First and second, one out. Top of the seventh, Yankees up 2-1. We'll be back. Well, the Yankees go to their third pitcher of the inning. Steve Carsey has the crowd of 55,000 and 53 look on.
A little chilly for those ice cream bars. I wondered whether Dusty Baker might go to his bench. He's got Marvin Bernard, and Tom Goodwin's more of a slap hitter runner, but he's going to stay with Shinjo. You find yourself becoming a fan in games like this and looking ahead to what might be. And if Carsey were to get out of this inning, that's what Steve's done on the year. 31 hits, 10 walks, only one home run, almost a strikeout an inning. He's got 3 pitches he can put you away with: fastball, curve, and split. But in the 8th inning, it could come down to a 1-run lead, and Mariano Rivera will come in to face Barry Bonds, which I think is what everybody, even the players on both teams, are looking forward to that matchup.
I'll sign up for that right now. So Shinjo will hit. He is 1 for 2 tonight. The tying runs at second base. JT Snow, Reggie Sanders at first. Yankees lead 2-1, top of the 7th inning. Foul back. Torre has really gained a lot of confidence in Carsey as the season has moved on. Coming out of spring training, he wasn't quite sure how to use him, how he trusted him. And he had him more in middle innings. Now he is a 7th and 8th inning pitcher. The 0-1. There's a strike. Good pitch on the outside corner. Quickly up 0-2. Shinjo steps out. Mike Mussina pitched beautifully and then gave up 3 straight singles here in the 7th inning. And Joe Torre has gone to the bullpen. The 0-2. Popped up, right side. Giambi right there. 2-away.
Third baseman, David Bell.
That leaves it up to David Bell. Bell's 1 for 3. Struck out first, popped to second, third, single to right center in the 6th. There's a strike. Fastball 96 miles an hour on the outside corner. Bell bears down in these situations. A .356 hitter with runners in scoring position. That's good for 11th in the National League. 2-1 Yankees lead. And the 0-1. Breaking ball away and the count 1-1.
Mentioned Bell's numbers with runners in scoring position, and what he does in situations like this is he'll take it the other way. We have not seen Juan Rivera's throwing arm yet. We know he has a good one, but he becomes a major player here because he's short right field in the Yankee Stadium, and Bell might try to take a pitch that direction. Certainly the Giants will try to score the runner from second.
JT Snow, average speed at second base. And the 1-1. There's a strike. That looked like a splitter in the count 1-2.
And that's what it was.
Dusty knew that pitch was too tough to hit. And the 1-2. Foul back.
Most relievers come in, they have one pitch, specialty pitch that they can get you out with. Maybe they have one or two to show you. But very few pitchers have 3 put-away pitches coming out of the bullpen like Carce. He can blow the fastball past you, outstanding curve, and the splitter.
And the 1-2. Grounded foul outside of third. Livan Hernandez would like to be wiped away from the loss side. He's trailing 2-1. And the 1-2. Hit sharply right at Soriano. And Carce works out of trouble. Great job by the Yankee bullpen. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. At the end of 6.5, get up and stretch. And also, let's listen to Bob Shepard on the stadium public address system. Metallica's Enter Sandman signals Mariano Rivera coming in. But first, let's take a look at the Continental play of the game. Brought to you by Continental Airlines. Work hard, fly right. Continental Airlines, the official airline of the New York Yankees.
Yeah, there's been a couple plays in tonight's game. Anytime you have a 2-1 game with 15 hits, it's plays like this that might make the difference. A ball that got away from Posada, he recovered, made a nice flip to Mussina, and quick hands by Mussina to catch the ball and make the tag. That bases were loaded with 2 out at the time. Numbers on Mariano. Just 17 hits and 7 walks. It's a base runner per inning and 22 strikeouts. A great combination of power and control. Top closer in the postseason ever, the great cutter, and we'll see if he breaks JT Snow's bat. He usually, any of those left-hand hitters, we'll see during this series if he gets a chance. Barry Bonds doesn't break many bats if he gets a chance to do that.
Rivera, 17 of 19 in saves, and he faces JT Snow. Pitch is inside. This year, Mariano was allowed just 1 home run. You might remember it. It was against Shea Hillenbrand, a game the Red Sox won. And that was at Fenway Park. The 1-0. Broken bat. Foul ball. Well, there's one tree.
And you see the bat boys know. I mean, that's one of the things the league has encouraged bat boys to do, but particularly with Mariano, they're ready. They probably have 3 or 4 of them in their hand when he's pitching. See, now as soon as JT Snow gets in the box, that bat boy has already got another one. You could break 3 in an at bat against him.
I'm surprised that conservationists do not pick at Rivera. You know how many trees he's killing? Remember one year, one of the riders was starting to count the broken bats. He let it be. The 1-1. Looped out left side, foul. Ventura can't get there. And he broke another bat.
Had one ready. Quick. Get another one. Mariano might break him faster than he can find him.
He can't find another. Now he's got it. And the 1-2. Didn't break that one. Swung on and missed one away. Got to hit it to break it. Hey, here's a look at today's Dodge player of the game. Dodge gets somewhere. Grab life by the horns. Dodge, the player of the game is
Mike Mussina, as well as making that great play. Mike struck out Barry Bonds. Held the Giants to 1 run. Got a good relief pitching so far from Stanton and Carsey.
Reggie Sanders swings and misses in the count. 0-1. Sanders knocked Mussina out of the game with an RBI single through the left side. That was in the 7th inning. Sanders 1 for 2 with a walk. They had to mount a little bit of a rally for Rivera to face Bonds tonight. Check swing. Did it hit him or was it a foul ball? They say foul ball, so the count 0-2. If you count Sanders, Bonds 6 batters away. Now Dusty Baker will come out and talk with the home plate umpire Phil Cuzzy and ask if Sanders was indeed hit by the pitch.
See Reggie trying to get the hands out of the way, and it actually hit the knob of the bat. Still stung his hand, but the ball hit the knob of the bat.
Two to 1 Yankees. 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. And the 0-2. Foul back, just stays alive.
You can see the right-handers have better swings than the lefties. That was a good swing right there by Reggie Sanders. That ball right out over the plate. The cutter breaking away from the righties. Right there, breaks out actually toward the barrel of the bat. Breaks that way just slightly, and Sanders had a good rip at it. That's why Mariano, we'll see if they do it here. A very unique pitch, righty to righty. He'll throw the ball at the hitter and catch the inside corner.
And the 0-2. Strike 3 inside corner. Sanders down looking.
See, Posada sets up inside, and right-hand hitters just do not see this pitch very often. The cutter that comes at them freezes him and then hits the inside corner.
Sanders thought it was a little bit low. That leaves it up to Sean Dunston. Dunston pinch hit against Mike Stanton in the 7th inning. 1 pitch, he popped out to Giambi. The last hope for the Giants. They trail 2-1. 2 outs in the 9th, and the pitch to Dunston. Inside, he jumps away from the fastball. The count 1-0. Dunston 3 for 31 this year against right-handed pitching. 0.97.
Sean Dunston was the first player picked in the 1982 draft ahead of Doc Gooden. And they asked Whitey Herzog, farm director at the time, why, and he said because Dunston had a better arm.
The 1-0. Foul back. Rivera, the all-time Yankee saves leader at 232, and the man in the Giants dugout, the pitching coach Dave Righetti, is second at 224. And the 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2. The Yankees are 1 strike away. 2-7-0 for the Yankees. 1-8-1 for the Giants. Top of the 9th inning. A sellout crowd on hand. Dunston digs in. Rivera peers in. And the 1-2. Check this swing and a high fastball. They'll do it again. The count levels. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Stays alive, fouls it back. This game with a little bit of a playoff feel to it. Big crowd, a little bit of a chill in the air. Two very good teams going at each other. Two good efforts by the starting pitchers, and the bullpen takes over. Here's the 2-2. Upstairs, 3-2. Shinjo is on deck.
Tried to strike Dunston out with the same pitch that he got Sanders. That one just slipped out, the cutter.
The 3-2. Sky to short center field. Coming on, Bernie Williams. Going back is Soriano. He makes the play, and the Yankees win the game 2-1. Rivera comes on to pitch a 1-2-3 9th inning. He nails it down, and the Yankees start the series with a 2-1 win.
Well, some great plays in the field. That one capped it off. Ironically, the Yankees scored a run with the help of a giant error in the first inning, and the Giants are the best team in the National League. They give up the fewest unearned runs, and a terrific play to end the game, over the shoulder catch by Soriano.
We're going to come back. We'll wrap it up. The Yankees win this one 2-1, 2-7-0 for the Yanks, 1-8-1 for the Giants. Mariano Rivera nails it down, and the Yankees get the win. We'll be back. A sellout crowd here at Yankee Stadium saw a thrilling interleague game with the Yankees beating the Giants 2-1. We thank you for watching. Special thanks to producer Kevin Smolin, director John Moore, and executive producer John Filippelli. Our next New York Yankees game is Sunday at 1 p.m. Jim Cobb, Bobby Mercer, and I will call all the action right here on Yes, beginning at 1 p.m. That's right, the day starts with the Yankees pregame show with Fred Hickman, Susan Waldman, and Paul O'Neill, and that begins at 12 noon. For more on the Yes Network, go to yesnetwork.com. For Jim Cott, I'm Michael Kay, saying so long from Yankee Stadium, where the final score, the New York Yankees 2 and the San Francisco Giants 1. Have a good night, everybody.